Our first activity today is to look at our benchmark data by standard. You'll notice here in this first table, this is where I've linked in your benchmark graphic organizers. I'm going to use one as an example here. We're not going to focus on student level work this time. We're going to look at the standard analysis, so you want to make sure that you're on benchmark 3's tab, and we're going to focus on these two boxes right here where it says standard analysis, and then the strategies down here that we might use with some of those standards. So once you've opened up your benchmark analysis from this screen, you can then use the links that are on the next page of this slideshow, and what that's going to do is it's going to take you to a spreadsheet that shows your standard performance for all CCSD, for CCSD gifted, for all of your school and all of your schools gifted, and you're just going to look for patterns and trends that you see. Where do you see that your gifted population is trending high? Where is it trending low? And I also would encourage you to look at this through the lens of Webb's depth of knowledge, which is that way of kind of ranking the standards that we've got and deciding which ones require more cognitive processing and which ones require less cognitive processing. If you've never seen Webb's depth of knowledge, you can click through this link right here and it will take you to just the general graphic organizer. And if you want a little more information, there's a presentation linked here that you can go through. So when you click your school's spreadsheet, it's going to come up like this. It's going to have all standards for English and math for grades 3, 4, and 5. They might take just a minute to load. And if you come down to the end of each set of standards, you'll see a nice chart where you can see the different subgroups plotted. And so what you want to do is focus maybe on some of the peaks, on some of the valleys, maybe look at some of the places where the line crosses over. So if your school was doing significantly better than the gifted mean, and then all of a sudden you're doing worse, what was that standard? What might you do to work on that standard with your students? If you see your school gifted score dipping down below the county mean score, that might also be an interesting place to take a look at. Or if you see some places where you're beating everybody by a lot, you might want to take a look at those and maybe think about what you've been doing there and how you might apply it to another standard. And so once you have written into your graphic organizer with the patterns that you see and describe some of the anomalies in your data, some of the places where the pattern doesn't hold. I also want you to choose one standard for each of the 3 tested grade levels, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You can choose math or ELA or a mixture of the two, and describe a strategy or an activity you might use to enrich or extend students related to that particular standard. So take just a little bit of time, go through your benchmark data, and then you can move on in our presentation.